If you want to stop overthinking everything, here are 3 tips to help you get started on your journey. Number 1 is developing an awareness for when you go off overthinking. The thing is, you can't stop doing something that you're not aware of doing. And most of overthinking happens when we go off on autopilot. So you have to become more aware of where you are. And this involves asking yourself a simple question. What am I thinking about in this moment? And if you find that you're thinking about the past or the future, bring yourself into the present moment. Tip number 2. One of the ways to prevent overthinking from happening is to always give our minds a task. If we don't give our mind a task, that is when it goes off on autopilot. That happens when you're doing things that don't require your mental involvement, like washing dishes, like doing chores that your body already knows how to do because you have cellular memory for those things. Number 3, whenever you find yourself considering a problem, start asking yourself a different question. Overthinking happens when we ask ourselves what could go wrong and how can I control it. Instead, ask yourself the question, what can go right? What are the other things that can happen? What can go right and how can I contribute to that? So those are simply 3 little tips to help you control overthinking. And if you're watching on YouTube, let's expand on this concept a lot more using our understanding. Now, here are a few things that I want you to understand about the emotional scale and momentum and how this affects overthinking. So if I was to draw the emotional scale, I would draw it like this. And right up here, at 10 is love and joy. If you're down here in despair, we'll give that a 0. And over here at 5 is worry and anxiety. All of fear is in this realm. And overthinking happens from a place of fear. So if I was going to draw momentum as a line, I would draw momentum along this axis over here, and high momentum is a rating of 10, low momentum is a rating of 0. So if I'm over here somewhere and I'm thinking about what could go wrong, I'm in a place of fear. I could be here or here or here. The thing that I need to do, first of all, in order to get control over the situation, is that I need to reduce momentum. So I reduce momentum by talking to myself in soothing terms. So I say things like, it's going to be all right. Just like things can go wrong, things can also go right. What I'm doing is I am reducing momentum. I'm still in a place of fear, but I'm reducing momentum by saying things that a friend would say to me. It's going to be okay. You can handle this situation. There are ways in which you don't even know that the universe can help you to turn things around. So now I've taken momentum from 10 over here to 0. The next thing that I have to do is to go up the emotional scale. So the very first thing I have to do is to reduce momentum. And then the next thing I have to do is go up the emotional scale. An easy way to go up the emotional scale is by using words that represent higher feeling emotions. So if I'm over here in fear, then the next thing I have to do is to go up the emotional scale. And what is up here on the emotional scale? Anger is up here. Revenge is up here. Frustration, worry is up here. Frustration is up here. So I use words that represent these emotions. From fear, I can go to blame first. That person is responsible for the way things are happening. And I'm going to ask the universe to look after that person. And then you go to anger, you go further up, you go to anger. I'm so angry with this person. Why did they have to do this thing? And then you keep going up to worry. What if nothing changes? I am so worried that nothing will change and I won't have control over circumstances. And then you keep going. Frustration. Frustration is represented by saying things that I'm frustrated because I don't know what to do. And from frustration, you go up to hope. What is something that you can say about hope? I hope that things turn out the way I want them to. So you see, you use the word representing the emotion, and then you create a sentence with it. And the more sentences you can create that take you up the emotional scale, and once you get up to hope, maybe you can create 3 sentences for hope, and you keep going. Satisfied. I'm satisfied about so many things, right? You don't have to stay on the subject that you want to fix. You can move off of that subject onto other subjects that are easier. As Abraham tells us, go to subjects that are easy to appreciate. So once I've brought the subject up to a place of hope, now I can switch to other subjects. I can switch to the tree outside my house. I can switch to appreciating sunshine. I can switch to appreciating my dog. And what will happen is I will very soon, in 5 minutes of doing the work, I can end up over here. And once I end up over here, which is right high up on the emotional scale, now I'm in a place where I feel more control. And when I feel more control, I open up the field of all possibilities from this place. And this means that better options are now available to me. And I am no longer overthinking because I'm feeling good. So, this is a really simple way to stop overthinking by developing our awareness, first of all, knowing where we are on the emotional scale, and knowing what to do with momentum. Because what I find happens many times is that people are not aware of the impact of the um, momentum in their lives. A lot of times people, especially those who have been listening to Abraham, are aware of the emotional scale, but I find that people don't have techniques for going up the emotional scale. And number two, they don't understand the role of momentum and how we first need to reduce negative momentum before we can go up the emotional scale. So I've created what I call the heart and mind alignment method, and it involves a 4-step process for reducing momentum and going up the emotional scale. This process is documented in the book Thrive. And if you have the opportunity, please do grab the book Thrive, and it will help you to understand how to implement the teachings of Abraham and make them real in your life. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions at all about the material in this video, please go ahead and post your questions below. I love hearing from you and I love answering all your questions. And let me know if this makes sense. If this makes sense, please can you put in the chat the words "make sense" so that I know that the work that I'm doing to bring you this material is being effective and helpful. Thank you so much for visiting today, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.